Welcome back. Week 1 was a fantastic week, right,
What a
Dom?
week. What a set of games.
What
Some
upsets?
surprises. Honestly,
I hope week 2 is the same.
one could only hope.
Well, 2 can only hope right here.
Two can only hope.
Welcome back
All right.
for
Yeah.
the fan.
Thank you if you listened last week on iTunes, Spotify, or Spreaker, however you did that. And make sure to follow us on
Twitter, Instagram,
at.
we are for the fan.
There you go.
I'm Will.
I'm Dom, of course.
We got our intern Joe over there.
How you doing?
We have Cassie, who's over there.
She's just a bystander.
That's what she sounded like.
She's just here. I'm actually doing work.
All right.
Well, I thought it was intern Joe.
You are intern Joe. No?
Yeah,
That's
intern
all right.
Joe.
He
It's
does
intern Joe.
internally
New
duties.
intern, everyone.
He does internally do. He was here last week.
He was there last week.
He didn't have the title.
Like, kind of an intern, I guess.
He does internally duties.
Yeah.
So for today, well, there's
We're-
shout outs. You want to shout out Jay and PWP?
I mean, thank you again, PWP Nation and Jay Aleto, for letting us use their fantastic equipment, which is just using Spreaker Studio.
Yep.
If you want to learn how to get into podcasting or upload your own, Spreaker is the studio for you. That's not an ad. They makes it easy to use.
It really is. So today, what are we doing today?
Wednesday, September 12th.
Wednesday, September.
We
12th.
got headlines throughout the league.
Yep, from this past week and going into week 2, and then we're gonna go over in depth each game that happened this past week. Oh, talking about this past week, our predictions from last week.
Our predictions.
We've decided to make this into a little bit of a game. We've decided to count points every week on who
Each
predicts
game,
the best. Yep. And it was a little bit hard this week because, we had a tie, so that was some.
It was sad.
we had to
It was
decide
very
what to
sad.
do there. Yeah, we'll get into that. And
And our predictions for week 2.
yeah, so I don't know. We don't really know if there's gonna be what one person is gonna have to do for the other person, whoever loses and wins by the end of the season.
We're going all the way to the Super Bowl, end of the season.
But we're counting it till then, and we'll obviously keep everyone informed on what happens there. But right now, what is it? Well, it's 10-8. Am I right?
Yeah, you have
10
10,
to 8. I have
10
10.
correct.
Will has 8. We'll go over those predictions.
Comeback
of course,
season.
as well, and we'll post them. So, like Will said, we'll go over the headlines today. We'll go over the predictions from last week, and just
The
in-depth-
predictions, you mean the reviews of
yeah,
each game.
the in-depth analysis from last week, and then we'll of course predict at the end of this show next week's picks.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so
Right
let's
in. Headlines.
let's
Here
go
we
back in. Le'Veon Bell has still not reported the Steelers camp.
Actually, today he's been taken off the depth chart as well, so some more drama happens there, as well as
The offensive line just smacking him around.
what's his name? Oh no, I can't
James
remember.
Conner?
James Conner. What a performance too, by the way. So that doesn't help the
131
situation.
yards, 2 touchdowns, some
Jeez.
few receptions.
That doesn't help.
33 points in fantasy. My lord.
Oof. So
He's expected to return by the end of the month, Le'Veon Bell, per Adam Schefter. If not, James Conner could be the Steelers' featured back, and he's a cheaper option than what Le'Veon Bell would get.
And it's honestly nothing to be worried about right now with how he's performed. I mean, this is the real deal right here.
Yeah.
As a backup, jeez, What else we got? We got, this one's interesting.
Big one that happened today.
Yeah, what is that?
Josh Allen, the second quarterback from the 2018 class to get the starting nod against the Chargers.
After Nathan Peterman's
After Nathan Peterman's beautiful performance, it was an art.
Nathan Peterman's career has not been the best. That is for sure.
It's been the best career I've ever witnessed. Not gonna lie.
Um,
What should we expect for Nathan Peterman? What should we expect for Josh Allen?
honestly,
Are
I
we
don't
gonna
know.
expect
There's
some
been-
deep throws? Jeremy Curley, Kelvin Benjamin.
There's been a lot of criticism around Josh Allen going into the draft and after they drafted him so early and whatnot. So I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to find out, right?
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
there's
Is he
not
gonna be
much-
airing that ball, or is he gonna be relying on LaShawn McCoy and a Chris Ivory run game?
Hopefully he'll do better than how Peterman did this past week, though.
You can only hope. You can always go better from where he was.
All right, next, what's that? Oh, this is controversial. This is a big deal.
We had a lot of flags this week on the field.
This is a big
Laundry
deal.
was running wild.
Yeah. Oh man.
The new quarterback hit rule where you can't throw your whole body weight on the quarterback after he throws the ball off, resulting in a flag.
A lot of that. Tackling issues.
The crowning of the helmet.
PI, false
We saw some
starts.
ejections.
It's interesting what this year's going to look like. I mean, we watched Thursday night and we're like, just wow, these teams are committing a lot of penalties, and then it carried over to the weekend and Monday, and
I don't think there's going to be an end in sight.
No, it's interesting. This year's going to be a trying one for
It's going to be a lot of flags.
And Carson Wentz, too. The Eagles, talk about Thursday night. That's still an issue for the Eagles.
Yeah, he's expected to return week 3. Well, I shouldn't say expected. It looks more probable that he could return week 3 against Indy if his recovery goes well and he's able to be cleared for contact per Chris Mortensen.
Yeah, which is better than what we said last week, better than the analysis last week. So that's something to look forward to. That's a lucky break there for Eagles fans and for people that took him in fantasy. And oh my gosh, this is one of the biggest headlines. This is one of my favorite headlines. This is your headline.
The circle of life continues.
Circle?
Ryan Fitz
Oof.
Magic has returned, throwing some magic down in New Orleans.
Yes, for Tampa Bay.
For Tampa Bay, leading the charge of all quarterbacks
I mean,
in fantasy, nonetheless.
who would've
417 yards, 5 total touchdowns.
crazy.
Deshaun Jackson had a resurgence. Mike Evans even had a good game. Goodwin even did good.
And this is interesting looking forward to Jameis Winston's suspension. What happens?
What do you think?
I can't say after the
Could-
first week.
could-
It could always
could-
be a fluke.
Could Fitzmagic
But-
have the magic?
but
And
according to what you have to say, this means
he's
it's
going to
going to
win.
happen again
He's
and
gonna win.
again, and he'll get the
He'll
starting
get the job, and then he'll just.
bring him into the playoffs, put him deep.
Oh,
Maybe.
okay. I never said he'd bring him to the playoffs.
No?
Lies.
No?
No,
What do you
he'll
think
choke.
he's
He'll
yeah?
choke, and then he'll sign a big deal, and then
All right.
you know.
Oh, and then yeah, that's right. He signs a big deal, and then it's downhill from there.
Well,
We'll see.
we'll
It's,
see.
a surprise, to say the least.
All right, now we're going to be going into our games.
Yeah, starting. We're gonna do this mostly as
A chronological
possible.
order from times and all that.
which doesn't include the Miami game because chronologically that was
Well,
a
no,
little
that's
bit
still in the
crazy.
1:00.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even though it ended like after the 4:00s.
We're going to be looking into Philly, where the
Thursday
Falcons
night.
played the Eagles.
First game of the season.
What is a catch?
Interesting.
What is a catch?
If you guys watched that game, Julio Jones had this great catch, falling onto
On the
his back,
sideline.
sliding out of bounds, but
It's an
they
incomplete
called
pass.
it. Yeah, they called it incomplete.
The challenge came in, and you can see at every angle he had the ball. It did not touch
well,
the ground.
We thought he had the ball.
But I still do not
I still
know
think he
what
had
is
the
a
ball.
catch.
I still think it's a catch.
Yeah.
But once again, coming out of last year, that was the question. What really is a catch? This year, it hasn't changed. We're back here again. It's continuing to happen. What is a catch?
And then you had Mohamed Sanu who caught the ball, and it was just all over the ground, and they
Yeah.
ruled it a complete pass.
It's
But Doug Peterson didn't challenge because he only had one challenge at the time.
Yeah, that was interesting. Doug's first challenge. That was like a 4-yard play. Not even for a first down. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was still in the red zone. It really didn't matter that much. And this guy challenges it. Doug Peterson challenges it. And what do we have? A loss of a timeout. It was a bad
Yeah.
challenge. I mean, what are you thinking there? It's weird.
It is weird.
I don't remember who caught the ball, but it was just it was.
I want to say it was Austin Hooper.
Yeah, for the Eagles.
For the Eagles.
Oh, was it for the? I don't even remember. I just remember Doug Peterson throwing the flag, and it was just weird. It was just a weird time to throw a flag. I don't know what was going on there. I don't know what he was thinking. He was denied anyway. I don't know. That was a little bit weird for me. A little controversial again. Oh, and the Eagles punt or the Falcons punt return with the Eagles player.
Yeah.
That was weird. I mean, the dude's cut already. You know, they punt the ball.
Yeah, fumble the ball. You lose the ball. You're giving the Falcons prime field
I
position.
mean, what was the guy even doing? It was pointless.
It doesn't
the ball
matter.
was
He's
coming to
jobless.
a stop, and this guy kicks the ball. Like, why were you even around the ball? I mean, he
He wanted to fight off the 7 Falcons.
That was interesting.
And now, who's the true Eagles' number one running back? Apparently, it's Jay Ajayi.
Well, no,
but
apparently he's not the number one, but he is the workhorse.
he's the workhorse, yes.
I mean, they have Darren Sproles, who also glad to have him back too.
Glad to see the man,
maybe
the myth himself.
Maybe his last year, but I mean, the guy looks great again. Like the rest of his career.
The only thing with the Eagles' running game was we never really got anything going with any of the running backs. You had Darren Sproles out there, and then you put in Corey Clement, and then you had Jay Train, but you really never had that groove of like a running back until
can't put
Jay
someone in there to gain momentum, to get something going,
get the run game going, to get the pass game going. It was weird until Jay Train scored 2 touchdowns, which ultimately helped the Eagles win the game.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting because this is a team where Jay Ajayi, does this 2 touchdowns, looking great, and then next week he'll end up with no touchdowns, and someone else in the running
Sproles,
game,
Corey Clement could
2 touchdowns,
be taking
right?
all of them.
Then the next week could be completely different again. I mean, it's hard for fantasy owners.
It is very
obviously.
hard. Yeah.
I mean, for the team, it doesn't really matter. They're getting touchdowns. They're making it happen, And the game itself, I don't want to say the Eagles looked bad, but I felt like the Atlanta just looked better.
Atlanta did look better
and they just didn't come away with the win.
But unfortunately, injuries did hurt the
this
Falcons.
Was rough.
Keanu Neal, he hurt his knee in the first quarter. He came back in and then re-injured what I believe is the same knee, torn ACL. He's out for the year. They also had injuries with Deion Jones and all that. Deion Jones was put on IR.
He was put on IR?
I'm pretty sure he was put on IR.
Ooh, I did not know that. I mean,
major ooh.
Yeah, major ooh.
Is Julio Jones primed for a record season after having a massive game?
I've liked Julio Jones ever since I watched him with a broken foot in the combine.
A broken freaking foot.
Do so well. Do better than anyone in that combine. I mean, the guy's a monster. We know that from his previous seasons. He's had record games. He's had record seasons.
He's done everything.
He's done it all. And will he do it again for another season? Get Matt Ryan something good,
We do not know.
It's going to be interesting. Atlanta's
a
decent favorite for the playoffs and the Super Bowl right now, actually.
Oh, yeah. I would totally jump on the Falcons train right now.
That's still a hard division. You got Carolina, who's great.
You have
you have Tampa Bay, which what is happening there?
48 points.
There's that. And New Orleans. I mean, that might be the toughest division of football right now. For sure. That's close.
We might be seeing some upsets in that division.
Oh, we have to, for sure. When they face each other, come on.
Now we're going to be going to the Sunday games where we saw the Bengals play the Colts. Andrew Luck's return.
Yes, big deal.
I wrote this as some sarcasm. Luck and Dalton looked fantastic.
Yeah, that wasn't the case.
Picks on both drives.
Yeah, and then,
the helmet rule and the ejection.
Yeah, I forget who that was. We had a hard time when we were watching it.
It was number 26. I'm pretty sure it was.
26.
I don't know who it was in the Bengals, but
who that was. Or 36? I don't
know.
No, it was 2 numbers.
It was 26.
But yeah, he ejected from the game. That's like more of a no tolerance policy right now.
Oh yeah.
It's that's pretty rough. Even if you make a mistake and lead with your helmet on accident. I mean, we're talking about a fast-paced game here. That stuff happens on accidents every once in a while. You make that accident, boom. Ejected from the game.
It wasn't really an
that
accident.
Can happen.
It's just how they've been playing.
Not that one. But I mean, it can happen, and you're taken out of the game. So that no tolerance rule is also another controversial, interesting thing. That's always going to be that way. It is what it is.
Adam Vinatieri,
still going.
45 years old.
Makes me so happy, that guy.
Whenever he kicks a 40-yard field goal, I always think he's never going to make it, but he ends up making it. And then with 50 yards, with ease, there's still so much room left.
I don't know how this guy still does it.
Maybe he's the Tom Brady method. He's using his kids for youth.
I mean, he won the Patriots 2 Super Bowls, that's for sure.
Now the Bengals, they looked amazing.
Yeah, the ending to that game was awesome, man. I mean,
Andrew Luck picking it up, returning at 82 yards, the strip fumble touchdown.
It wasn't even Andrew Luck's fault. That was a fumble. What an exciting game too. Exciting game.
Now we're going to be going into the Meadowlands where the Jacksonville Jaguars played the New York Giants. The Giants' O-line is terrible. Colin Cowherd rated them as like the best offensive line, like top 5.
I don't know what he was the guy.
I don't know. Are you making them a Madden like top 5, or I don't know what you're comparing them to?
It's weird because where do you see that? I mean, they brought in Nate Soldier. We talked about this, right? it didn't change that much. We're still talking about an O-line
Saquon having to make the runs himself. It's not the O-line making
and
the
what
plays.
a touchdown.
What a
What
touchdown.
a first touchdown. What is that, 68 yards?
68 yards to the house, breaking 5 tackles.
What a
Miles
guy.
Jack kind of
Deserved
just
it
gave up at the
completely.
end.
Yeah.
Jaguars.
He wasn't catching Saquon.
Jaguars defense. Nothing really changed. They're still as dominant, the best defense in the AFC by
Yep.
far.
That's expected. Offense looked
With the receivers.
a little lacking because of Allen Robinson. I'd say.
Robinson, Allen Hurns departures, then you have
Yeah.
Marquise Lee injured. Their top
Yeah.
3 receivers out.
That's right.
Now you have Keelan Cole,
Mm-hmm.
Dante Moncrief,
Yep.
and Austin Safarian Jenkins
There
taking
you
the
go.
helms as the 1-2 and the tight end.
Blake Bortles, I think he still looked decent.
Blake Bortles looked good. He had some great plays.
Yeah,
Everyone was helping him.
he was Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles. Well, he wasn't Blake Bortles as
Okay, no,
the
no,
years
but he
previous.
was-
He
he
was
was-
last year's Blake Bortles.
It's only game one.
It's only
It's
game
only
one.
game one. That's all right.
Leonard Fournette once again hurting
Yeah.
a hammy.
That's,
T.J.
rough.
Yeldon looked really good as the 2.
Yeah, that'll pan out. I think.
If Fournette's hurt, T.J. Yeldon, he could be a good, valid pickup in fantasy football, day leagues. Doesn't matter.
And that game, Jacksonville holding off the Giants for a win. There was that. Next, Houston at New England. The Patriots taking that game, as everyone, probably predicted beforehand, as we predicted beforehand. Philip Dorsett looking great, having a touchdown, starting off the year great. Gronk
Being
being
Gronk.
Gronk. Oh, there was that. Remember
Triple
that
coverage,
catch?
double coverage, any
Remember
coverage.
that catch?
Oh, yeah.
Another controversial catch, but they couldn't review it in time because the Patriots.
Patriots just run
snap
to
the ball immediately.
Patriots snap the ball in 12 seconds every time.
So that was interesting, but Gronk, even without that catch, Gronk being Gronk, touchdown was beautiful. Catching it in the corner there, just sneaking it in over that pylon, that was nice.
Tyrann Mathieu having a great day in Houston.
Yeah.
Well, for Houston,
There's
nonetheless.
also that. Oh, and Jeremy Hill.
Jeremy Hill done.
That's rough.
Done for the year. Torn ACL, the former Bengal.
We've
now
seen
Patriot
Jeremy
running
Hill
back.
travel around the league a little bit.
Not really. He's always been in.
No?
He's always been in Cincinnati. You always got to fact check, man.
Oh well,
Always fact checking.
I thought so. But
Is
that's just
Deshaun
me.
Watson a concern after his first game back from injury? He didn't look as hot as he did
No.
last year.
It was not pretty for Houston, for Deshaun. That was interesting, especially, people saying, this guy could be a future,
Future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Throwing
this
19
was-
touchdowns in 7 games, the most in the first 7 games that any quarterback has ever done.
That's impressive.
If
But
he kept that up, he would have had
he didn't look
a
like that
career.
this game.
He could probably have been the best quarterback ever for a
If he
season.
kept it up.
If he kept it. If
If he
didn't-
doesn't have games like this, of course. But this was not pretty. This was not pretty. Houston has some work to do going forward. Patriots winning that game, like we said. Moving on.
to Baltimore,
Oh,
Sizzle City.
my gosh. What a game.
The
no one
weather.
expected that.
The weather. We expected Joe Flacco to be a little iffy off of last season, but they brought in 3
Jeez.
receivers: Michael Crabtree, John Brown, Willie Snead to help
Yeah.
bring that offense to life because he hasn't really had any receivers since Anquan Bolden and Torrey Smith been there.
And Lamar Jackson, we saw him out there for a little bit. They even put him in at one point just because they were up so
Up
by
so much.
much. So that was fun to
He
watch.
was with the ones too. He was
Yeah.
under helm.
Yeah, that was.
Although
fun.
we had the one play I remember, he had a big loss on there trying to run it.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
It was a torrential downpour of a game.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
especially for Buffalo. Especially for Buffalo. That was
that was a
beating.
terrible game.
That was
I know
a
we have
beating.
on our notes here Josh Allen time. It's confirmed.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Do the Bills regret trading a Tyrod or Turrod, whatever he wants to be called? Forgot what it's called.
Yeah, I forget. That was a.
It's Tyrod.
Yeah, we'll call him Tyrod.
Or it's
For now,
Tire
at
Odd.
least. Tire Odd.
Uh,
But after him taking them to the playoffs, the Bills Mafia being happy last season,
they just traded him away for a 3rd-round pick. They just kind of said, "Hey, get out of here."
but they took Josh Allen though. Once again,
They did take Josh.
This all lands on Josh Allen. How can Josh Allen do?
Well,
the rest
Josh
of the
Allen
season?
be the quarterback of the future for the next 15 years. You're going to be having to look at that.
I mean, it's rough. We'll see.
Now the game of the week, in our opinion, right? Would you consider this the game of the week?
This
Of the game of the
was-
1 o'clock hour.
At least. This was
Cleveland didn't lose.
insane.
Sorta, kinda, sorta.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't lost.
They haven't
They're
lost.
technically undefeated
They're
at this
500
moment,
right now.
which is interesting.
The best they've been in. I don't even know
when was
how
the last
long.
time they were 500?
I can't even tell you.
I think it's been like 13 years, I think.
13
The-
years.
The first time, well, no. The first time they've won a season, the first time they haven't lost a season opener, I think it's been like 13 years. I could be wrong, but something like that. Also, this was the last tie in a season opener since 1971.
Man, what's some distance right there?
Yeah.
Cleveland winning 5-0, first time to do it since the 70s. They tie for the first time since the 70s. It's going to be a 70s theme Cleveland going forward.
Maybe. And
The Cleveland comeback,
Yeah,
14
that's
down, picking off
brought
Big
them to
Ben.
the tie, and the 2 missed field goals in overtime. I mean, nerve-wracking right there. We thought Pittsburgh had it. I mean, not to be a little bit biased here, but I think everyone's kind of pulling for Cleveland if you're not a Pittsburgh fan, just because you
Dude.
want to see it happen.
You want to see Cleveland do it. You want to see
it
Cleveland
happen.
go
They're an
forward
exciting
with it.
team this year, and so you watch Pittsburgh try to make this field goal, boom, miss, right?
Cleveland,
Have
they
a little
couldn't do
hope
it.
for Cleveland.
Cleveland couldn't do anything.
They go and kick a field goal, and that was a sad miss. I mean, you saw it on
Live television,
yeah.
NFL Red Zone, wherever you were watching football on Sunday.
that was rough to watch that happen, and then them end in a tie.
Denzel Ward, 2 interceptions on Big Ben.
What a first game! What a debut game for Denzel Ward
We even said this.
on Big Ben.
With Le'Veon Bell not there, you put more pressure on Big Ben having to do
Yeah.
more of that stuff.
I mean, Big Ben's a guy that should be able to carry that pressure, though.
I mean, hey,
I mean, you don't really put that much pressure on Big Ben, considering James Conner did so well.
he did it amazing.
2 touchdowns again, like we said.
People were expecting it, and he showed up. He performed.
Yep, Chubb carrying the ball a little bit for Cleveland. That was nice to watch.
Great
Carlos
running
Hyde
back
being in there.
rotation. Duke Johnson too.
Yep.
Now we're going to be going to Minnesota, where Jimmy G just had the worst game of his career
Yeah, here we go.
against the Vikings defense, and the
Jimmy
Vikings
G-
defense is the best defense in the NFC.
Jimmy G no longer undefeated.
No
Rough.
longer undefeated.
Rough.
7-1.
7-1. I mean, maybe it brings the pressure off of him here a little bit. You know, maybe now he doesn't have to try and be undefeated. But still a rough game for him. That was not that fun to watch.
The
Kirk
quarterback
Cousins,
on the
though.
other side of the ball, the guaranteed man, shines in
Yeah.
his first game.
That
in,
was
in
awesome.
the purple eaters.
That was awesome. And Kirk to Stephon Diggs for that touchdown. One paid player to another paid player this past season. That was nice. That was
Austin
satisfying to watch.
Pettis, the rookie from the 49ers, had a great grab for a touchdown.
Yeah, and he had a couple catches, I believe.
Now we go on to the highest scoring game in a long time.
What
It's
a
just an
game.
offensive shootout.
What a game.
Tampa Bay, New Orleans. Ryan Fitzmagic, a 156.7 QBR. He hasn't done that since he was on the Jets whooping some defenses.
Yeah.
2015.
I mean, no, I don't think anyone saw this coming. I've seen this guy just sit in free agency in some fantasy leagues. I mean,
you tried to put
jeez.
in the stuff for him.
yeah, I might have tried to put in a claim for him. But that's okay. I didn't
Deshaun
get it.
Jackson's revival, too.
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson,
Having a
Great.
day.
first touchdown, I believe. I believe that was his first
140
touchdown.
yards until he got taken out of the game with injury.
Yeah, that was that's not the best thing for him. At least.
Unfortunately,
not
it's
the best
not.
thing for Fitzpatrick as well. And Alvin Kamara, what did I say? There is my offensive player of the year prediction. He right off the bat, I
Only
said he'd
20
do it.
yards rushing.
Yeah, but he got 2 touchdowns still. He got some nice reception yards. I mean, I'm happy with how he performed for sure. He was up there in fantasy as well, looking good.
The
Breeze,
Breeze Thomas
yep.
connection. 16 receptions, 180 yards, and a touchdown for Michael Thomas.
I mean, we got to give Breeze credit here still. I mean, we don't really highlight his performance just because that's almost expected of him. It's something he's done in the past. We can't just only talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick. But Breeze had a great day as well. Both of them, really, it's just a shootout at that point.
It was a shootout.
And somehow Ryan Fitzpatrick came on top.
Vernon
Somehow.
Hargraves for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers may miss the rest of the season with a shoulder injury.
That's rough.
It is rough. All right, now the end of the
Moving
1
on.
o'clock games, which ended at midnight.
Oh my
I think this
gosh.
game didn't end.
This was rough. Just
Why
because
did this game go on for 7 hours? Ugh.
2 kick returns.
2 kick
By
returns.
the way, the most exciting part right there. Boom.
I
2
mean, the
kick
most
returns.
exciting part.
Yeah, for 7 hours.
Malcolm
Stills.
Butler, he brought the lightning.
Oh yeah, Malcolm
Literally
Butler, yep.
picking off Ryan Tannehill. Bam,
Yeah.
another lightning delay.
Kenny Stills goes off. That part
Marcus
was
Mariota and the Titans offense all having injuries.
Yeah.
Mariota hurting his elbow. LaRuan, the starting left tackle,
Suffered
in
a
concussion
concussion.
protocol. Delaney Walker, who's a top 5 tight end in the leagues, might miss the rest of the season due to a dislocated / broken ankle, ligament damage, all that. It'll be really surprising if he plays at all again this season.
That was
It's a heartbreaking
those were
loss.
Some hard injuries right there.
Jonnu Smith could be getting the start for
Jonnu Smith.
Tennessee.
Oh, and Minka Fitzpatrick.
Minka,
Minka
the
Fitzpatrick making
rookie
the stop
first rounder.
when we thought the game was going to end at regular time before any delay. Minka made a great stop in the beginning. Looked great. At least, he had a highlight going on here, in his first game. So that was nice. Maybe we have more to look forward to there as the season goes. I mean, especially for Miami. Them looking like
Someone yelling
a
outside.
bad team. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. But hopefully Minka could be a big deal on this team.
Now
I mean-
to Carolina.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers to anyone listening in Carolina.
Carolina.
Hopefully you all are safe in the Carolinas, Virginia,
yes.
Georgia
This is
area.
going to be a rough weekend.
It's
for
going to
the
be a really
Carolinas.
rough next few days. Hopefully everyone's safe, gets to
Hopefully
some safe
Carolina
ground.
can go back week 3 to their arena. I don't know if they have a home game week 3,
I do not know.
but whenever they have a home game next, hopefully they don't come back to a destroyed Carolinas. That would be terrible.
Thoughts and prayers to everyone there. Hopefully
Yeah.
you all.
And Greg Olson as well.
Greg Olson is hurting too. He is month to month. He wants to play. He wants to rest his foot for a few weeks and come back and play the rest of the season.
I mean, this guy.
And then go for surgery because he re-injured the foot here last year.
This is
It's a
one
sad
of the
story.
most reliable players in the league. With Jason Witten no longer playing too, especially on tight end, this guy is reliable. Mr. Reliable for Carolina. It's sad that he's gone. He's had a nice career, and hopefully that doesn't end anytime soon.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Dak Prescott.
Yep.
Terrible.
Jeez.
Literally, it was a dumpster fire.
We talked about this last week. This O-line for Dallas.
Is not good whatsoever. Travis
No.
Frederick, Zach Martin, La'el Collins, something like that. This offensive line's not as good. Zeke had a good game, 70 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
But when the game had to go on Dak's shoulders, Dak stripped,
Could not make it
sack.
happen. Also, with the lack of receivers this year now, Dez still
Alan
in
Hearns,
free agency.
right? Not Switzer. No, Cole Beasley,
Yep.
tight end. I don't know who their tight end is. I can't even tell you who
couldn't
their
tell
tight
you,
end.
honestly.
Yeah.
It was a rough game for Dallas. This might not be Dallas's best year with Dak for sure. Might not
For
be
sure.
what we've seen in the past couple years. It's gonna be interesting. Cam also running touchdown, ran all over Dallas, looked great.
Amazing.
Cam being Cam,
Cam running like Cam does.
super
Also,
Cam.
Cam dressing up like whatever dress Cam dresses up in. I don't think he's worn
Yeah,
the
that
same
was,
attire twice.
That was fun to look at, for sure.
We're going to be going to Kansas City and LAC, Los Angeles Chargers, or as we
Oh,
know them as
this was
the
fun.
San Diego Chargers.
This was a lot of fun to watch.
Tyreek Hill, the first touch of Kansas City's year. Punt return, 91 yards to the house.
Beautiful. And Patrick, keep talking about Tyreek Hill. He also
7
had,
receptions, 168 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns,
along
a
with
bunch
that
of
return.
running touchdowns.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
Emails.
What a game. What a game. What else we got? Patrick Mahomes. I was so happy to see him succeed. I talked about it last week. I really want to see him do well.
You're sold on him.
I'm sold on Patrick Mahomes. They got rid of Alex Smith. They're ready.
They're ready for the
Mahomes
future.
to be their guy. And Mahomes looked good. Except for passing to Travis Kelce. There was not much
There
of
was
that.
nothing there.
People that have had Travis Kelce in fantasy in the past have watched him go off in
Prosper.
some games. Maybe it's not going to be that way with Patrick Mahomes.
But
Maybe
hey.
Patrick Mahomes won't target him as much as Alex Smith might have, but he's got to go to Kelce more than that. Kelsey's
yeah.
a weapon. You have to use that.
I mean, it's only week 1. It could just
Yeah.
been the scheme and all
Could've
that
just
and
been
the coverage.
a bad day for Kelsey as
Phillip
well.
Rivers had to play from behind as per usual.
He did well.
He did
Didn't
well.
make it
Keenan
happen,
Allen.
but he had a nice amount of yards. Did well. Keenan Allen, yep.
Melvin Gordon having a day.
Impressive. I mean,
Impressive
he's
per
a top running back
usual.
as it is, but nothing changed there. He looked great. Moving on, Seattle at Denver.
Doug Baldwin, grade 2, MCL sprain, week to week, but good thing they have some receivers there. They have Davis, who had a 100-yard receiving game against the Broncos. You
Yeah.
have Brandon Marshall, who's having a resurgence
That was
there.
fun
He
to
had
watch.
a touchdown against his former team.
That was fun to watch. Emmanuel
Tyler
Sanders
Lockett.
becoming definitely
A favorite receiver.
one of Case's
having a
favorite.
day.
Yeah, doing well. Yeah, Von Miller doing Von Miller things.
3
as well.
sacks. Both quarterbacks threw a combined 5 interceptions.
That part was a little bit rough.
It was rough, but, hey, it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be going towards the desert, Arizona, Washington. All day.
All day.
Chris
all
Thompson.
day.
All day.
All day.
AP 100 TD.
Oh, that was exciting.
Only that day.
Only that day.
Jordan Reed. All day. AP showed what AP did back in
Back in
2007
days.
to 2012. Just ripping up defenses.
And receiving the ball too.
2 receptions, 70 yards for AP.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
I mean, this is interesting. Watching AP struggle last year, watching him on different teams last year, not doing well, was a little bit worried for this guy's career after what he did in Minnesota. And maybe we're back. Maybe because he's not the...
He's not under pressure.
Yeah, he's not the sole running back producing on this team. Chris Thompson is looking good as he did last year. This tandem is exciting to watch.
And Alex Smith under center, spreading the ball.
Yeah.
Can't forget about Alex Smith.
No, give him some credit. But
Sam Bradford sucks.
that was not pretty either.
My Lord, how did the Eagles rob the Vikings of a first-round pick for this guy?
Ooh, man.
Thinking he could get money somewhere else, and he did get some money. But,
Yeah.
let's be real here. Josh Rosen or even Mike Glenn, is it their time coming up soon?
Well, I don't know if Josh Rosen is still injured. Because didn't he have a problem with his hand?
He had a hand
Or
problem,
so.
but now he's all cleared. He's
He
all
is?
ready to
He is
go.
all cleared,
He's all
so-
ready to go.
Arizona might need to consider him in the future if Bradford doesn't also have a bad game next week. We'll have to see. Look forward to maybe some rookie time in Arizona. Moving on.
Chicago, Green Bay.
Oh, this was exciting.
Chicago.
Now, this was just beautiful.
Chicago.
What a game.
What were you doing? You had the lead.
Yeah, Chicago. I mean, going into halftime, this was Chicago's
17-0.
game.
Aaron Rodgers was hurt. You had Deshaun Kaiser just doing Deshaun Kaiser stuff from Cleveland.
And Khalil Mack. The headline continues.
Deserves
Khalil
that
Mack
money.
Goes to Chicago and shows everyone why he is paid what he's paid.
The
why
highest
Chicago
paid
did what they did to
defensive player
get
in the
him.
league.
Strip sack, recovery, touchdown, interception. I mean, it's him. The last person to do what he did in this past game was Khalil Mack in 2016. So again, him doing what he does.
What he's known for. What he
he's
does
known for.
best.
Yeah. Just blowing up an offense.
Aaron Rodgers.
Single-handedly.
Aaron Rodgers having a great second half. I don't know if you mentioned that.
Aaron Rodgers, there was a scare for Green
Oh,
Bay
my
fans.
Lord.
Still kind of is, I believe, right? How's
Yes,
Aaron's
he has
situation?
a sprained knee going into week 2. We're going to be monitoring that.
Yeah.
Well, we won't be. A lot of other people will be.
We'll be bringing you the information that's
Any
monitored.
news going next week.
But he comes back, and he might not have moved much,
He was on
but
one
he
leg.
didn't need to.
Randall Cobb, Geronimo
One of
Allison.
the most
Allison.
exciting touchdowns. No, 2 of the most exciting touchdowns, Randall Cobb and Geronimo touchdowns, bringing Green Bay to a win. Man.
We posted this photo on our Twitter page. We are for the fan.
Yes.
Mitchell
This was rough.
Trubisky, a 3rd and goal. You could have brought the lead more into your favor. And, what happens? You had a wide-open Trey Burton in the middle.
Let me paint you this picture.
You were looking straight at him.
Mitchell Trubisky is in the middle of the field. The pocket. He's not even in the pocket.
There's
anymore.
no one
There is
around
no
him.
pocket. No one's around him. No one. No offensive lineman. No one rushing him. No one right in front of him, right in the middle of the end zone. Trey Burton, the Philly special passer from the Eagles Super Bowl. No one is covering him. He is right in front of Mitchell Trubisky. That is a touchdown if you throw to him. And how do you not throw to him?
And it's a game-changing touchdown because
Yeah.
you add on to your
that
lead
might
that
be
was
a
already
win for
there.
Chicago. They might seal the game if they make that play. But
They
No.
take a sack, unfortunately. The
I don't
sack
know how.
happens.
I don't know how. Go on our Twitter page, look at that picture,
Tell
and
us
you
what you
figure it
think.
out for yourself because I have no idea what was going on there. How do you not seal the game on that play? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Now we're going to be going into the Monday night doubleheader. First, the Jets at Detroit.
I'm not even. I don't know if I'm even gonna talk this whole time. This is all Will Jets fan. Just be happy for Sam Darnold. Be happy for the Jets. I've never seen the Jets do this. This is insane. Just talk.
Let's go
Just
play by
talk.
play. All right.
Hey, Will, what'd you say before the game?
So before the
Oh, this is exciting.
before the game, before kickoff, it's Dom, I, and intern Joe over here. We had Cassie, who's dead asleep over there, and I go to Dom, and I'm just like, Dom, Sam Darnold is going to throw a touchdown on his first drive, and what happened? This dude threw a pick six. I don't even know what happened. I was getting burned all over the place by Dom. I was getting burned by intern Joe. Oh my goodness.
For this podcast, I wrote down immediately. I saw that pick six. I wrote down how wrong this man was going to be about Sam Darnold. I was laughing. How could you not? I wanted to see Sam Darnold
On the bed.
succeed. I really did, but like, it's something you have to laugh at how much Will was excited for this
I think
as a
Will-
Jets
Will
fan.
definitely jinxed it.
Yeah, Will jinxed it. That's all I got.
But like I just want to say this though.
Thought it was hilarious.
I just want to say this though. I was correct. He did throw a touchdown on his first drive. I will give him that. So you got to give me some credit there.
Like,
But-
half credit you get.
Half credit.
Half credit.
Half credit's better than no credit.
Fair enough.
But now we're going to be looking at the rest of the game. After Sam Darnold threw that pick, he had a 158.3 quarterback rating, 2 touchdowns. The entire Jets team looked amazing, running the ball, passing the ball. Sam Darnold was looking down the field the whole time. When there was pressure in his face, his eyes were still down the field. Rookies don't do that. The rookies fall under the pressure and get hit. He moves up in the pocket, moves out of the pocket, throws the ball. Sometimes it's completed, sometimes it's not. But I got to give this man credits. He could be the future quarterback of this team. And as a Jet fan, I'm excited. I would be excited for any Jet fan. I don't think this would be a fluke game. I mean, going against the Dolphins week 2, it's going to be very interesting. Perry Nickerson, I believe at the end of the first half, picked off the ball, but they said he was out of bounds. But
Did
we
you
also
post this on our?
we posted this on our
We
Instagram.
also posted this on our Instagram. This was an interesting thing to look at.
You saw paint between the shoes, even
Yeah,
though it's not that
he
much
was-
paint.
That was an interception, and
It
the
was
refs
an
didn't
interception.
even
There
try.
was no review
It
upstairs, no
wasn't-
nothing.
They didn't call it. It was just incomplete, done, next play kind of thing. I mean, that's interesting as well. But did it matter for the Jets? No.
Well, no,
it
they
might have
still
mattered for Perry Nickerson's career stats.
the 6th
But,
round
I
rookie.
mean, it is what it is. He
Ugh.
was part of the team that won the game. He contributed. What a game.
Now to
for them.
talk about Detroit. Matt Stafford was beat up brutally.
Yeah.
He was hit around. He hurt his knee. He got helmeted in the chest cavity.
Mm-hmm.
He was knocked out of the game. He came back, but then ultimately Matt Patricia pulled the plug on him, putting in Matt Castle since they were down so far. Kenny Galladay. Yeah, that's what his name is. He was the only bright spot on this entire team in the receiving core. They couldn't really do
Receiving thing.
anything. Receiving thing.
I mean, I gotta talk for my guy, Patricia here. He's gotta make some changes. He can't do what he did this past week. I hope he succeeds still. I miss him in New England, but he's gotta take this role as head coach, and he's gotta make a decision this week. He's gotta change what happened, and he's gotta come back next week and do what he's done in the past and win. Put up good defense. Make it happen.
Some veterans up in Detroit are not happy with Patricia's rules that he has in place. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
And Darius Slay, did he?
Darius Slay got hurt. I don't know if he returned.
I don't remember if he returned, but if he did not return, I forgot to look this guy. Look what's happening with him. But that's a tough loss if he's gone.
Now
I don't know. It's all on Patricia now.
The last game of the night. We stayed up till what, 2:00 watching this game? This was Dom's
rough.
fantasy game that he wanted Derek Carr to pass to a receiver.
I gotta say this right here. Derek Carr needs to do something. He needs to. The whole fourth quarter, I have Amari Cooper in the league, and I was not down by much, and I was just looking for him to pass to receivers. And I want to say, I can't say this as a fact, but me and Will watched the fourth quarter as it happened, and I don't think Derek Carr threw to a single receiver, made a completion to a single receiver all fourth quarter. He's down in the game. He needs to make something happen, and all it was check down routes to running backs and getting it to Jared Cook. Jared Cook was the only one making it happen.
Jared Cook was on your bench.
Jared Cook was on my bench. I don't want to talk about that either. Jared Cook had a great game, which is expected of the
180
guy.
yards, 9 receptions.
Maybe not that much, but that was fantastic of a game for him. But Derek Carr 2 years ago looked great. Derek Carr brought the Raiders to the playoffs.
He was a front runner MVP.
Yeah, Derek Carr was making this team happen. Last year, everyone just hoped there was an off year. Coming into this year, Jordy Nelson's on the team. They just signed Martavis Bryant again.
Who is facing suspension.
Yeah, but still, another receiver. But, why do they even sign him? Derek Carr's not throwing to receivers. Derek Carr needs to change this. He needs to sit in the pocket and throw to receivers and make it happen. Granted, he's going against another stacked defense. He's going against the Rams, who has just such a defense. Best defense in the league, possibly. But still, Derek Carr, you need to at least take a chance. You're losing. You're still throwing picks. Just take a chance on a receiver. Throw to a receiver. You got to make something happen. Nothing happened. He did nothing, You can't just rely on these 2-yard plays throwing to running backs. That's not how you play football. That's not how you win games. Derek Carr needs to make a difference. He needs to change what he did this week, and he needs to make Oakland look like what they did 2 years ago.
But when he did throw to a receiver, Marcus Peters was there.
Yeah.
The Rams defender, Pick City.
He threw to another receiver. He attempted to throw to a receiver across the field on the run. That was another pick as well. I mean, dude.
Jared Goff. Yeah, Jared Goff and Todd Gurley looked like the better tandem that night.
I mean, they look like what they look like. They went out there and did their job.
Are known for.
They showed us that they're not stopping from last year. They're exciting still. I mean, they are what they are. There's no highlight there. They're just doing their job, making it happen like they've done.
Now we're going to be going to our matchups.
Yeah,
now,
for next week. Predictions. Here we go. The game continues. I'm up 10-8 on Will. This week's interesting because this week picks are all over the place. It's everywhere on this.
A lot of different picks. What is it? 8? At least 8 different picks? 8 different
picks. At least half the games are different picks now. I mean, this is not what it was last week. This is exciting. So, we're going to start. First of all, this is in order. Yep, this is in order.
This is all in order.
Baltimore at Cincinnati on a Thursday night.
Who are you picking,
Tell us,
Dom?
Will. Oh, I'm picking.
I want you to pick.
I'm picking Cincinnati. Baltimore, I'm calling them. They had a fluke week last week. 48 points was nice, but they're not doing it again. Joe Flacco's not doing it again. Cincinnati, it might be a bold decision to take Cincinnati after watching Baltimore last week, but I'm taking Cincinnati.
I just feel Baltimore is the better team, and that's who I'm picking this week. You have 3 better receivers, and I've already mentioned them before, Crabtree, Snead, and Brown. You bring in Hayden Hurst, a first-round tight end. Joe Flacco's having fun with it, even though Hayden Hurst might not be playing this week because he's hurt. It's going to be interesting to see how Flacco can manage the ball down the field, doing what he does. We could see the resurgence of Joe Flacco. Maybe the Ravens return to the playoffs. Hopefully before Terrell Suggs retires, he makes it to the playoffs one more time. We're going to be going to the Steel City where we have Kansas City at Pittsburgh. I have Pittsburgh in this game. I feel that Antonio Brown, they're going to be home. It's not going to be all weather. It's not going to be a weather game as they had last week where, it was raining, a soggy field. Antonio Brown, John Connor. Yeah, it's James Conner.
James Conner.
He's just going to be running. They're going to be running the ball. A ground and pound. Big Ben will be throwing it to Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown will have his stacked season that he always has. Well, a stacked game as per usual. And it's going to be fun to see, hopefully, a different side of the Steelers.
Yeah. I have Kansas City. Like I said, I'm sold on Patrick Mahomes. This is Patrick Mahomes' year. He's making it happen, Kansas City. I have Pittsburgh continuing to struggle in the passing game. Big Ben continuing to struggle, not looking well. James Conner might do what he did last week. He might do well. But I have Kansas City shutting down Pittsburgh and Patrick Mahomes winning that game again. Tyreek Hill maybe going off again. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe Travis Kelce getting some more catches, doing his thing that he does. Kansas City winning. Moving on. Miami at the Jets.
We're both picking New York here.
Miami simply is not going to make it happen.
They're
Darnold. Just not doing it.
Sam Darnold's the Sam Chise. I know Dom did not want me to say that on here, but I say the Sam Chise.
Because last time that existed, it was the Sanchez, which I wasn't for either. The Sam Chise.
Because they're the Chise. The Sam Chise, the Sanchez. The Jets' offense is just going to be too hot, again, for that Miami defense, and I feel that they're going to be doing what they did against Detroit.
Whether the Jets play like they played last season and years past, where it wasn't so well, or they play like they played this past week, I, no matter what, have them beating Miami.
Miami and the Jets always split games every year.
They might.
Always happens.
I feel like they might not this year. I feel like this is just Miami's just not doing well this year. I mean, I can't see them doing well at all. How?
Now, Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. My pick for this game. This one's for you, Jake. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Ryan Fitzmagic is going to be doing what they did last week against the Saints. The Saints have a top 5 defense in the NFC. I do not see the Eagles stopping Ryan Fitzpatrick at all. Their receiving core, Goodwin, Deshaun Jackson, Mike Evans, O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate, even the running backs, Ronald Jones, and what's his name? I'll bring in what's his name again because what's his name won it for them last week, and what's his name could win it again this week. Who are you taking, Dom?
I thought what's his name was on Denver.
No, what's his name?
No, what's his name is on Tampa Bay.
What's his name's on Tampa Bay?
I have Philadelphia. Will is so sold on the Bucks and Ryan Fitzpatrick being Magic. I am taking Philadelphia. They're winning 2 weeks in a row. They're starting undefeated, 2-0. And that's that. Bucks are not making it happen again. Another 48-point fluke week for a team again for me.
Now we have Indianapolis traveling to Washington. We're both picking Washington. I mean, AP's just going to have AP, Chris Thompson.
Washington, all day.
Jordan Reed.
All day.
Alex Smith.
All day. Again. That's that. Indianapolis losing. Boom. Moving on. This is maybe the easiest pick of possibly the season.
Chargers at Buffalo.
Chargers. I mean, come on. Both of us. Chargers.
Phillip Rivers.
Doing it again this week.
Melvin Gordon.
Good.
Keenan Allen.
My man, Phillip. Making it happen. I mean, you can't even argue. What do you have for Buffalo? I mean, unless Josh Allen takes it to the extreme and goes off, you got nothing.
You do have nothing.
You don't have anything. It's all Chargers football in that game. Moving on. Exciting game. This one's fun. Minnesota at Green Bay. Will, what do you got?
I have Green Bay. If Aaron Rodgers is playing this week, I'm picking Green Bay every time because Aaron Rodgers has the chance of bringing the Packers to a Super Bowl. And I just feel like they're just going to be unstoppable.
Hopefully, if Aaron Rodgers plays.
If Aaron Rodgers plays, the Packers will do it. But I'm not going to change my pick if Rodgers isn't playing. Because I have faith in Kaiser, hopefully. Hopefully.
I mean, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, you got Deshaun going against a Minnesota defense. Even Aaron Rodgers against the Minnesota defense is rough. I'm picking Minnesota if you couldn't tell. Kirk Cousins, once again, just showing us why he got traded, showing us why Minnesota wanted him, showing us why Minnesota is paying him to do what they do. Dalvin Cook, we didn't even mention Dalvin Cook before. Dalvin Cook, great game. Again.
Great game. He had a fumble. He broke out of all these tackles, and just the ball was punched out of nowhere.
Yeah, that wasn't a pretty moment, but they're making it happen this week again. Will's got Green Bay. I have Minnesota. This is a tough game. This is more of like a 50-50 pick here for this game. Moving on. This is another almost 50-50 pick here. 4 50s. Carolina at Atlanta. We both have Atlanta, though. We both have Atlanta. You want to say why you have Atlanta?
Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are going to be coming in angry off of what was a last play effort against the Eagles.
For the second year in a row.
And they're going to be just doing what they do best.
If you haven't had a chance, I didn't mention this earlier, if you haven't had a chance to look at it, look at last year's game where they played the Eagles in Philadelphia. The play they couldn't make was Julio Jones, left side of the end zone, couldn't catch it, in coverage. Once again, this game, last play of the game, Julio, left side of the end zone, in coverage, just landing on his back again, the exact same place, exact same spot in Philadelphia, not making it happen again. It's an interesting thing to watch. Them in that situation against Philadelphia, I guess they just can't make it happen. But back to the prediction, I have Atlanta taking this game purely because of one man and one man only who tore up the league last week, tearing up the league again. Julio Jones, making it happen, looking like Julio Jones, being the receiver we've all expected him to be. And that's that right there. Moving on.
Now we're going to be going to Houston at Tennessee, and I'm taking Tennessee.
I'm taking Houston.
I just feel Tennessee, you got the running back tandem, Derrick Henry, Dion Lewis, your boy from New England, nonetheless.
Who?
Dion Lewis.
Dion Lewis? I didn't know if you were talking about Malcolm Butler or Dion Lewis. I mean,
both of them are probably your boy.
Oh, yeah.
There's a car alarm going off outside.
Yeah, ignore that.
Intern Joe, you want to make sure it's not one of our cars?
Oh, yes. Look at that. That would not be fun.
Joe, what are you looking at?
Intern Joe, what do we got?
People playing basketball.
People playing basketball. Oh, that's rough. Come on. You don't park near the basket.
Looks like a 2-on-2 here. Got with a bunch of 9-year-olds.
Rough.
Here's a shot, and he missed off the back.
Ooh.
That's why it's hitting cars.
And that's Joe's commentary right there. Thank
All
you,
right,
Joe.
Here we go.
But Tennessee, now back to this game.
Yeah,
Tennessee, even though Marcus Mariota may not play this week, you don't have Delaney Walker. You still have Blaine Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert played well in Arizona last year, having to split reps with Drew Stanton. And as long as you produce that running game, the passing game will be easier with those Tennessee receivers, Corey Davis, Rashard Matthew, and all of them. Jonnu Smith at tight end now. I'm taking Tennessee.
I am taking Houston. Houston did not look bad, and Houston played New England yesterday. This past week, and I just don't think Tennessee can do it against the Houston defense, against J.J. Watt, with the injuries they had this past week. I take Houston all day. Arizona at the Rams. This is another just kind of easy pick we got going on
Home
here.
opener for the Rams. The Rams defense.
Yeah,
If Sam Bradford is under center for the Cardinals, they're not going to win games. That is 100% confirmed. David Johnson, he had a fairly okay game, but you cannot put David Johnson on that ball the entire time.
Especially against this LA defense.
Where he was hurt once again in the 2016 season,
Yeah,
injuring his knee.
I have the Rams as well. Jared Goff making it happen. Todd Gurley just being sensational. Again, making it happen. Their defense, Marcus Peters, maybe another pick. What was that interesting stat? 40 games, 20 picks?
50-something games, 20 picks?
No, I think it was 40. I
Nah.
think it wasn't?
Nah, it was like 50-something games.
Well, either way, I mean, that's an amount. 3 years is what it was.
Yeah, 3 years, 20 picks.
3 years, 20 picks? I mean, that guy, he's on the pace for something crazy.
He could break into the record book if he gets
He
20
absolutely
interceptions every
could.
3 years.
But either way, Rams defense and offense taking this game. Moving on. Here's another split pick. Detroit at San Fran. Will, what do you got?
I'm taking Detroit. I feel as if coming off against a literal mauling to the Jets on Monday night, they're going to have to come back and play their hearts out. I feel like Stafford's not going to be, he's not done. He wants to like shred up this defense, even though, Richard Sherman was shredded up last week.
Yeah.
Badly. As long as you get the run game going, Stafford could pass it to, Golden Tate, you have Marvin Jones, you have Galladay. I don't even know who their tight end is, but I just feel Detroit's the better team in this scenario.
I have San Fran. It was an off week for Jimmy G last week. He's not going to let that happen again. Jimmy G, maybe throw to Pettis again. Pierre Garçon needs to get going a little bit here too.
Alfred Morris.
Alfred Morris actually looked pretty decent last week. Well, except for his
fumble.
back-to-back fumbles.
Yeah.
But still, give the guy some credit. He's been playing for a while now. San Fran winning this game against Detroit. Detroit struggling 2 weeks in a row. First 2 weeks, not winning a game. Moving on, Oakland at Denver. I got Oakland. I think Oakland's doing it. I really want David Carr to get it done this week.
They're going to be passing to Amari Cooper?
I really hope. If Derek Carr can throw to receivers in this game, they win the game. If Derek Carr...
thank you for that. If he throws touchdowns, they win the game.
Basically, if he can throw to receivers, maybe he'll throw a touchdown. But he needs to throw to receivers to go anywhere in the NFL. And I didn't see that happen last week. I need to see that happen this week. And if it does happen, he's winning the game against Denver.
I'm taking Denver. Case Keenum and the hype train of Case and Emmanuel Sanders having a resurgence. Demaryius Thomas having a resurgence. I feel Denver can do it. They can pull off what I believe could be an upset in Oakland, but it's not in Oakland. It's in Denver.
Yep.
I feel,
Even better for
they
them.
could go 2-0 for the first time since, Peyton Manning was there?
Is that one that...
Peyton Manning, Brock Osweiler?
Interesting.
Sometime there.
Yeah.
Now the game of the week.
This is
AFC.
another rematch. Yep. From last
AFC
year,
title game
from the
rematch.
title game.
New England at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's just gonna whoop Tom Brady. Tom Brady's playing with a different team than he had last year. Deion Lewis, James White, Rex Burkhead, Gillislee. Even though Gillislee did not play after his breakout game week 1 last year.
Gillislee?
Yeah,
You mean
I know.
playing for New Orleans, Gillislee?
Yeah,
He's not.
I know he's not on the team anymore.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying it's a different team.
Yeah.
And
different team.
Hey, they still had to play without Amendola. No, they had Amendola last year. He's the reason why they came back and won. Gronk got hurt last year, so you had to deal with Martellus Bennett and
Still missing Edelman.
still missing Edelman.
So nothing changed there at least.
You have Chris Hogan, Philip Dorsett. That's really the two receivers you have. You have Gronk, but they're going to be double teaming, triple teaming Gronk. You have a great linebacking core. Miles Jack and Telvin Smith. The best line in the league, the best D line in the league. Calais Campbell. You have Yannick Ngakoue, Marcel Darius.
Yep.
I'm taking Jacksonville.
I can't not take Brady. You just don't bet against Brady. That's how that works. I think this is a 50-50 pick, but then you just think of the factor in New England, Tom Brady, that's a win for New England. Doesn't matter what team they have. Doesn't matter who they're passing to. If Tom Brady's the one passing, they win games. Simple. And they're winning next week in Jacksonville this time, making that happen. And that's that. Moving on. Giants at Dallas.
Dallas.
The battle of possibly the worst O-lines in the league this year.
Dallas.
You have Dallas?
I do not like the Giants. I'm taking Dallas. I'll be biased right now. Zeke will feed Zeke have the guy with the invisible cereal bowl. Intern Joe is not happy. Hey, and he did do that last year.
But they still sucked.
Hey, he almost had 1,000 yards in 10 games. So let's feed him. Dak Prescott will not do anything because Dak Prescott is literally just doing nothing
behind that O-line. I have Dallas as well. This is almost basically Zeke versus
battle
Saquon.
for the top 10 pick.
That's it. Really, it's not even Eli versus Dak. That's not happening this year. Eli and Dak are both going to struggle this year, just like Eli's been. Zeke versus Saquon. Zeke's experienced. Zeke makes it happen without an O-line. We saw Saquon have a breakout run last week, but he didn't do that well otherwise, I would say. Mm-hmm. So Zeke's going to make this happen. Zeke's going to carry the team on his back to a win, and along with the Dallas defense, making that happen as well. We both picked Dallas. Moving on, in Chicago, Seattle comes in Monday night.
I'm picking Chicago. I'm not sold on Seattle being the team, the Legion of Doom, boom.
Did somebody say boom? The Legion of Gone now.
The Legion of Gone. Like, see you later, Seattle. But Pete Carroll, get out of there. I don't see this team beating Chicago. Even though Chicago's not that much better, but Chicago will be able to get stuff going because Mitchell was getting stuff going early on against the Packers.
Yeah, the next victim of Khalil Mack, Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson like 6 times.
6 times, 7, 8, 9.
They don't even hire. They don't even get real offensive linemen. They just get basketball players and throw meat on their bones. That's all they do.
Russell Wilson. I think Khalil Mack has Russell Wilson's number in this game. Did I say Russell?
I have no idea.
Russell Wilson's number in this game. Russell Wilson won't be able to do what he usually does. He won't be able to carry this team. And simply Chicago in this game. That's that. In Chicago on Monday night. Another night game for Chicago. 2 weeks in a row to just start the season. That's impressive for them.
Yeah, the scheduling people must really like Chicago this year.
Somehow. They must have known about Khalil Mack ahead of time, I guess. Interesting. So that's that. That's next week's game. A lot of interesting picks. A lot of different picks than last week. Me and Will still going head to head. I'm only up by 2. Anything can happen this week with all
comeback
of our different
season.
Picks. I mean, we still have,
15 more weeks.
16 weeks. But hey, it is what it is.
If you made it this far, thank you for tuning in to For the Fan. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We are For the Fan. Email us at Gmail if you have any questions. We are forthefan@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. And is that it, Tom?
Pretty much. I mean,
even though my voice probably just cracked there.
Look forward to a great weekend of games. Some real nail-biters, some 50-50 games. Maybe another good week in fantasy for some players. Some surprise picks. So some hopefully a lot less penalties. I mean, I doubt that's
less laundry on the field.
Hopefully, no ejections this week. Maybe
you never know.
Keep it safe, but we'll see. And that's pretty much that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Hey, thank you for tuning in again.
Yep.
Follow us, Twitter, Instagram. We are For the Fan. Have a good week. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Hear from small business owners and other industry experts as they talk about the top issues they're facing today. In a recent episode of the Paychex Business Series with Gene Marks Coronavirus Podcast, Gene talks with comedian Jim Gaffigan about how he's turning to social media to connect with like-minded people. Listen and subscribe to this and other great episodes at paychex.com/business series.